Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Hannah and let's talk movies. I don't know why I bother trying with makeup because I know you can't see it on here, but I have gold sparkles all over my face from this eyeshadow and there's hair stuck to me that I can't get off. It usually doesn't go very well. But anyway, these are all movies I watched in April or June, so it's been a long time. And looking back on some of these is funny because some I've confused in my head with others, and I'll be looking at the posters and titles of these and be like, when did I fucking watch this? What? Because I will have no memory of it. So it is quite an interesting time. But let us start with the first. That is The Mad Woman's Ball. This is a French movie, and the only reason I watched it is because I was reading the book of the same name by Victoria Ma, I believe is the author. It had recently been translated into English when I read it, and it takes place here in Paris, so it was something I wanted to read. But the movie was directed by Melanie Laurent. It came out in 2021, is a drama history thriller, and I didn't rate this since I since I only watched it because of the book. And the book, even though that wasn't the greatest, it was still better than this movie. So I just really didn't want to give it a rating. But this book follows Eugenie. She hears and sees the dead. And so it opens with her family discovering her secret and sending her to the Salpêtrière asylum. And there she kind of becomes entwined with a nurse named Geneviève. So it kind of follows her journey through the hospital and trying to escape. So I watched this on Amazon Prime. It's apparently on both the French and US versions of Amazon. Like I had said, I read the book first and then watched this, and the same problems in the book are in the movie, and yeah, just wasn't the greatest. And also, since this is a French movie and it takes place in an area that's all women, there's constant nudity. There's always naked people walking around. There are so many nude scenes in this. But also there was a scene that I completely skipped because there is a rape scene and I definitely did not want to watch that. There was no fade to black or anything, no implication, it fully did the scene, and so yeah, I didn't watch that. And that scene is also in the book, so it's not something that they just added for shock value or anything like that. But yeah, this is one that I would only watch if you have an interest in insane asylums and their history and how poorly they were run kind of thing. Otherwise, I kind of just wouldn't recommend it or even the book. Next, I watched Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. This is directed by David Yates, who did do the other Fantastic Beasts movies, as well as Harry Potter 4 and onward, which I did not realize. This came out this year. It is a fantasy action adventure, and I gave it 3 stars, surprisingly. In an effort to thwart Grindelwald's plans of raising pure-blood wizards to rule over all non-magical beings, Albus Dumbledore enlists his former student, Newt Scamander, who agrees to help, though he's unaware of the dangers that lie ahead. Lines are drawn as love and loyalty are tested, even among the truest friends and family in an increasingly divided wizarding world. So this movie was 100% full of flaws, obvious glaring flaws, but I actually enjoyed it, which feels dirty to say. It did just make me nostalgic for the original Harry Potter movies, and so I think that had a lot to do with it. However, I am not sure what the point of these are. This is supposed to be a 5-movie series, and they keep getting more and more repetitive, and as of right now, the last 2 have been canceled, so I mean, this is it, and there is no proper conclusion, so it's just not something I would get into now kind of thing. So there is no character development here. You can literally say nothing really happens either, because where it ends is exactly where it begins. But I am actually glad that the last 2 movies seem to be cancelled for now, because even though this did feel make me feel nostalgic for the original Harry Potter movies, I can just watch the original movies if I want. So next I watched Deadware. This is directed by Isaac Rodriguez, and according to his profile, he looks like he's done a lot of movies like this, but this is the only one I have seen. It came out this year. It is a horror, and I gave it 2.5 stars. In 1999, 2 friends use a webcam for the first time and stumble across a mysterious browser game that may be haunted. So this is a very indie movie. There's only 3 people listed in the cast and only 2 listed for the crew. So if that is something you like, I would recommend this. It is only only 68 minutes long. Letterboxd said this is on Tubi, but I think we watched it on Shudder, so I'm not really sure. It is slow, and because of this, I definitely feel like this can be a background movie. Like, you could be doing other things. Like, I was probably painting my nails or something while watching this, because otherwise it might get a bit too boring. But I do feel like this is a really cool nod to like those original creepypastas, like creepy pictures from the early days of the internet. It definitely has those vibes. So, I mean, if you're looking for something just quick, well, I won't say quick and fast because it is a slow movie, but like it's only an hour long. So if you just want something short, there we go, that's a better word. If you just want something short to throw up, like in the background, I would definitely recommend this. Then I saw The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. This is directed by Tom Gormican, who only has one other movie credit. It came out this year, is an action comedy, like crime, and I gave it 4 stars. Creatively unfulfilled and facing financial ruin, Nick Cage must accept a $1 million offer to attend the birthday of a dangerous superfan. Things take a wildly unexpected turn when Cage is recruited by a CIA operative and forced to live up to his own legend, channeling his most iconic and beloved on-screen characters in order to save himself and his loved ones. This is 100% a popcorn movie. Like, it's very fun, bring the popcorn kind of thing, turn your brain off. And honestly, I could just watch like Nick Cage and Pedro Pascal just like be bros all day long. It is just that fun of a movie, and it doesn't try to be anything it's not. It doesn't try to be super serious. It's a bit meta, obviously, like Nick Cage is literally playing himself. So it is completely self-aware. It knows what it is. It knows what it's doing, and it is 100% worth the watch. Then I watched Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and I'm not going to talk about it because I did a whole ass video on this that I'll just like pop up here. If you want to see my thoughts on that, go ahead there. Apparently I gave it 3 stars, but I really don't think it should be that high. Like, looking back on it, all I have is disappointments. So after that, I watched Warning, Do Not Play, which is a Korean movie. This is directed by Kim Jong-won. He has one other movie credit. It came out in 2019. It is a horror mystery, and I gave it 3 stars. A struggling director makes a desperate bid to dig into the urban legend about a film shot by a ghost at the risk of her own life. So this is one of those where when I think about it, I'm like, wait, is this scene from that, or am I confusing it with this movie? Like, I feel like there's just several movies that have just kind of all morphed in my head. So this is one where I really had to rely heavily on my review for my thoughts here. It does start off really strong and have some nice creepy vibes. And there's also some scenes where like you can be like, oh, I know where they got the inspiration for this scene from. It's this movie kind of thing. And so I thought that was kind of fun. But then the movie ended and I had no idea what was going on. And I tried like Googling explanations for the ending and could not find anything. So I just kind of walked away from that movie just being like, what? And so the ending is 100% like a complete disappointment compared to the rest of the movie. So if you're okay with a movie being good up until the end, I would recommend it. Like, I feel like anyone who's interested in Korean movies would want to watch this anyway, but just be prepared for that ending, I suppose. And finally, I watched We Need to Do Something. This is directed by Sean King O'Grady, and I'm not familiar with his other work at all. It came out in 2021. This is a mystery horror, and guess what? I gave it 1 star. Seeking shelter from a storm, a family finds themselves trapped in a bathroom for days, with no sign of rescue and untold evils lurking just beyond the walls. So my first note for this is literally, fuck this movie, lol. So yeah, obviously I didn't like it very much. All of the dialogue here is the most cringy fucking thing ever. It is so cringy, and the characters themselves make the worst decisions possible. Like, all of them do. They are all just stupid as hell. And there was only one, like, good scene in here. Like, when it happened, I was like, oh yes, finally. Like, come on, give us the horror, keep going from here, and it just didn't. And considering there's no conclusive ending to this at all, I don't recommend it at all. There's no point watching it. You have no ending. There is no answers. It is literally just people being fucking stupid in a bathroom, the end. What a way to end the video, huh? As always, thank you for hanging out with me. It is greatly appreciated. And until next time, bonne journée and au revoir.